So we continue our discussion with Warren regarding debt over the holiday period, what to do if we've incurred it, how do we tackle it, and how do we avoid it during a very high pressure time. Why? Because we've got kids screaming for the brand new Christmas present, the latest toy on the market. We've got partners demanding jewelry. Jokes aside, there is a lot of pressure to spend money over Christmas. How do we approach buying gifts during Christmas responsibly?
It sounds like he's speaking from experience.
It's like we all know the story. Yeah.
I think with friends, for example, it actually starts with a conversation. So what we do with our mates is we will say, hey guys, are we doing gifts for each other this year?
Yeah.
Because you feel this pressure to just hand over, and if I don't buy you a gift and you've bought me one, I'm going to feel lame.
Yeah.
So it starts with that, just to say, are we doing gifts? Shall we set a budget? And I think that's quite nice for the friends, and that's okay.
And start that conversation. A lot of people will be like, "Oh, yeah, we'll join you on that one." Just be open. Yeah.
And I think that is, so maybe for the older family members as well. Obviously, for your own kids, you're always going to buy them gifts. Cool.
Got it, yeah.
But I think for other family members, again, if you're joining two sort of groups of the family together for Christmas, have the same conversation. I think for your own children, before you go shopping, sit down and set a budget per child per gift. Just to say to yourself, okay, it doesn't matter what I see in those shops and how amazing it is, how much am I spending, and when you get in there, that's what you spend. And it's amazing how that kind of frees you up from a bit of guilt and a bit of impulse buying if you have a proper strategy. It's all about the game plan.
Then, of course, there are those tools, those influences that allow us to spend a little bit more than we ordinarily would, things like accounts, credit cards, and obviously we know recovering debt like that comes at a premium. How do we approach the use of credit over this time?
I think I'd be really careful to get into very expensive debt. So, for example, your credit card, your store card, those are expensive debts.
Premium,
and I know the banks and even the shops will be pumping their offering to you now and telling you how amazing it is. And we've just got this new launch of whatever it is. From your point of view, it's about your game plan. Is it important to you to spend money on things that just have no value for a kind of a 30-second bit of gratitude or whatever the deal is?
Gratification, yeah.
Or do you want to start there on the right foot and get going?
Then I think there's this obviously a big upswing in promotions, in service providers, in stores offering us all sorts of great deals. How do banks approach this time of the year? Do they kind of up their interest rates? Are there any hidden costs involved there? What are the big dangers when it comes to this time of the year in terms of the fees that we're paying? We expect stores to hike up prices to score, but how do we sit with the banks?
I mean, look, I'm not a big fan of the banks, but I will say, to be fair to them, I don't think they push up prices or anything now. They might be advertising how easy it is for them to offer you a personal loan, so to give you additional debt and make it easy for you to do that. But I don't think they'll push up their fees or their interest rates. So I think be careful of taking that wonderful personal loan that they're going to advertise to consolidate all your debts into one, because what you're really doing is just digging a deeper hole for yourself. So don't take more debt now, even if it's offered to you. And then I think be careful of the stores. And I'm thinking about movies and games. Everything gets released now. Yeah. And it's the latest and the greatest, and now you've got this pressure. Just think about it and say to yourself, that's not important. We're going to do other things with our money and our time.
We want to be able to eat in January, In our industry, there's such a downward swing. You really have to approach that start of the new year with a huge amount of responsibility. But again, we don't want to dampen your holiday spirits. You've just got to be responsible about everything so you don't start the new year on the wrong footing. We'll continue our chat in a moment.